Help people understand what it's like to work with Aboriginal people, and what are the pitfalls, and what you need to be careful of saying and doing when working with an Aboriginal person. Simply because if you don't understand our culture, you can easily offend some people. And particularly if you're going to work in medicine, and if you don't know, Aboriginal health is not as equal as non-Aboriginal people in Australia. We have more chronic issues, and that's to do with the colonisation of this country. And that's something that you will need to understand. What happened to the Aboriginal people in this country when colonisation happened, when the English invaded Australia? What happened to the people? What did they bring to our country that made us sick? What did they bring that was introduced and given to our people? And so you will need to understand, the history of Australia. For you to work with Aboriginal people, you will need to understand that. And you will then understand why Aboriginal people may not want to tell you things. If you ask a question, some Aboriginal people may not want to engage with you. And you need to understand what is the best way to try and engage with an Aboriginal person. You need to understand what are some of the resources around the areas that you work in that can maybe help you engage with an Aboriginal person. You're going to do some self-education around working with Aboriginal people. But also, it's just not Aboriginal people here in Australia. There's also Torres Strait Islander people. And you will need to understand how to work with Torres Strait Islander people. And because they may have similar customs to Aboriginal people, but they may do it differently. And you need to understand that. So, working with Aboriginal people is going to take some time of building trust, respect, not only between you as the doctor and the patient, but also within the community. And if you can build a good, respectful relationship within an Aboriginal community, then you can then, work very successfully with Aboriginal communities. But you must do your homework, and you must do some self-education around, the colonisation of this country, the invasion of this country, and what happened to the Aboriginal people and the lands. And there's so many more things I could talk about, but